What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Bad Boys of Pop. My name is Tommy Mack.
My name is Eric Stretch. Thank you so much for tuning into the Bad Boys of Pop. Today is Thursday. That means today is the grab bag. Tommy,
yes.
Tell them what they got in store.
Well, guys, today we have a very special show in store for you. It is the grab bag. We are doing the TRSC, which, if you don't know, Eric and I started with a podcast called The Real Showcast, where we'd have our friends in the entertainment business come in, hang out with us, chat with us, and
drop some knowledge.
Drop knowledge, give hints, give secrets, and just, give you the stories that you don't usually hear. And so on Thursday's grab bag, where we do TRSC, we're bringing you a little taste of that. And today I'm very excited because we have a couple of gentlemen on from the group NB Ridaz, and these guys, amazing guys. I just finished working with them both. Dose actually has a solo album coming out this weekend. I won't give too much away about it. I'll let him talk about it. But yeah, very time relevant. These guys are awesome. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring the magic in. Bring the magic.
Bam, bam.
Gentlemen.
Hey.
Welcome to the Bad Boys of Pop.
We're the grab bag, huh?
You're the grab bag. Interpret it how you like.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is it's a very special episode for me because we recently completed some work together. I know, Dose, you've had a crazy month. And I'll
couple months.
I'll let you talk about as much of that as you want to. But first things first. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
We would love to.
Thank you guys for having us here. It's a blessing to be with you guys. I do watch you guys. You guys are funny.
Well, thanks, man.
You guys are funny, but no, thank you for having us here, man.
We try to bring some entertainment, some laughter, some smiles to people during these times. It's a strange time, and so that's what we're doing here, the Bad Boys of Pop. We're trying to entertain and just bring a little fun, a little smile, a little sunshine into people's lives. So,
can you guys tell us and all of our viewers and listeners right now, like how everything came together and how you guys got started and how you guys know each other and how everything, gives a little like cliff notes of your journey.
Yeah. Zig, you did start. You want to tell me about it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Me and Dos have been doing music for kind of before NB Ridaz and Nasty Boy Click came along. We were doing stuff like underground, we were a group called Lethal Brown Nation for a minute. And then we got into like the Cypress Hill type of stuff. We're like, we're stoners now. Let's call ourselves OTB. So we called ourselves Only the Blunted. And we had like different characters that were part of the group too. But me and Dos always seemed to stick together and try out different other members. So I think that's kind of how it formed. I was working with Magic before Dos came along, but me and Dos already knew each other. I think
Magic is the third member of NB Ridaz. I don't know, is that right?
Yeah. So I think what happened from there was me and Dos. I think we had like a separation or something. It wasn't nothing big, but it was cool because I think we hadn't seen each other in a while. And he came through the studio one day, and he was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "What's up?" And then from there, it just kind of formed itself, bro. Honestly, I mean, Dos already came with the idea. Kind of like the R&B hip hop blend, and he had a song called "Cuddle Time," which is a funny title at the moment. Yeah, but there was a line in there that always stuck out to everybody, and that was that "down for yours if you're down for mine." And then, but the hook would go into like, "Let's get down to some cuddle time," and then me, Dos, and a couple other people sat back and were like, "Man, we like this "down for yours" part, but this cuddle time is weird." So that's when we all put the heads together, and then all of a sudden, here comes the hook for "Down for Yours," and man, it was life changing. So I got to say, Dos and Magic were were the R&B influenced of the group, because I was more street, underground rapper, battle rapper, whatever you want to call it. But they helped me contain myself to be able to write R&B music, and I think that was what Dawson and Magic were really good at the time.
And so when I looked this up, I saw.
And that's his side of the story. Okay.
Yeah, what's the story?
Wait, really quick before we get to that side of the story, I want to share something if I can. So Down for Yours featured Roger Troutman.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's the
of Roger and Zapp. If people aren't familiar.
Yes,
do you guys mind if I play a little bit of that for folks?
No, man.
Just to give folks a little taste of the greatness that is on screen right now. Let me see if I can figure this out. I always mess this up, but let me hold on. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm looking for the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to do this one. Yes, okay, and I want to share audio. Here we go. Tell me if you guys can hear this. Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that where you're getting it from?
Well,
I don't know what this is. I don't know who that woman is, but
it looks like it's a fan made one. That's dope though.
Down for yours if you're down for mine. I'll be that man dropping skills, give your body chills. Let me wind down your boo. No doubt that I'll be good to you. I like.
So that was wait. Should I go more? Should I give him more?
Man.
I know you want my DOG when you down for yours if you're down for mine.
So that's the woman that's singing it. Then is the one in the picture, right?
No, that's
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, the thing that I love about that sound is it's so nostalgic, right? Like what does that bring for you guys? Like bring back all like these crazy memories and all those like really amazing times.
Yeah, it does, man. It's because that sound is history now. It's part of our history. It's part of our a big part of our culture now. And then a lot of now from Roger to Magic to now there's tons of people now that they use the talk box for their songs. I even have my son right now. He's 12. Are you talking 13? 12. Something like that. 15.
He's both.
He's talking. He's also wanting to learn how to use that. He goes into YouTube. He studies everything from the person who actually started from the beginning. So it's something really cool. Something that's actually part of a culture that has amazed so many people. How does that work? How does that sound come from? And a lot of people actually they mistaken it for an auto-tune, which auto-tune is a whole different world, and talkbox is a whole different world.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah. You're like it's the tube and the plane and yeah.
How did you create that sound? How did you become that sound as a group?
How did you bring the Roger and Zapp in with the sounds that you had musically? Who was producing the music at the time?
At the time, honestly, the beginning of it had to be Down for Yours when Roger came in and did the first run with it, and then Magic was blessed with from the Troutman family with the talk box, and he started learning it and he started incorporating it into songs, and you could tell early on when he was barely learning it from the time where he is now in his career. And I mean, it was just an experiment, and it actually worked. That's the thing. Like, it worked with Down for Yours, but then we thinking, hey, there's no better talk box player than Roger Troutman, and now he's rest in peace. So then here comes Magic, and he's like, yo, man, I got this talk box. I'm going to try to put it in our songs. And then here comes the song Runaway. And then that was when I think it took together, and everybody was like, man, that's a cool sound that you guys got. And I think that's when it started being our sound, is when Runaway really came out. If I'm not mistaken.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm just saying, I think that's the way it went, right? If I'm not mistaken, Los.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, and then it came with the talk box, and then the mix with the way we did love songs. So it combined to this whole sound that now a lot of rappers in the what you want to say Chicano and the Latino, they try to
emulate that sound,
imitate.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a cool story about the sound that we have. When Runaway came out, there's a station, I believe, I want to say it was Amarillo. I think it was in Amarillo or Odessa.
No, it was
one of those little cities, right? And there was a countdown. There was a countdown going on, and Nelly came in. And he was listening more to the countdown than he wants to the DJ. And number one was Runaway. And he goes, "Hey, what's this? Who is it?" He goes, "Well, these cats they're high. They're called NB Ridaz." And they had him play that song. And from there, Dilemma came out. So he felt like we had something to do with the idea of starting the whole slow song movement also with the way we do our songs. And then everybody started doing the like Dilemma, the way the smooth rapping, the singing in the songs, trying to do melodies and songs.
Yeah.
And which is cool, you know.
Yeah.
The crazy thing was a lot of artists were wondering where we came from. You know, we were being like number 1, number 2, number 3 on these countdowns and on these playlists that the stations have, and people like DJs would tell us like, "Hey man, so and so came in, heard your record, and was like really taken by it." Especially like when, I guess that was the biggest one for us, was when Nelly heard our record. I guess he was doing some street promo or a radio promo. He
Nelly's
stopped
like,
at that.
oh, let me get some of that.
Yeah. So then he comes up with Dilemma, has a girl singer, real pretty bells.
Kelly Rowland, yeah.
Yep. And I think it worked for him. He was like, "Man, this is a cool formula." Then here comes.
So before we move past that, because we're talking about Runaway, I want to play. A little, do you guys mind if I play a little bit of this one?
Oh no.
And this one, I'm gonna let this one run a little longer because I feel like the last one was a tease. And also, Dose, while I'm playing this,
Yes.
If you, I don't know, did you share that second link I sent you? Did you share that out to the NB Ridaz social pages?
I wasn't. I was trying. I'm so busy trying to get into the laptop.
I'm gonna do it right now.
All good. Yeah, if you want to share it out to the NB Ridaz Facebook or the socials there, I'm gonna get this set up, and we're gonna go ahead and wait. Let's see. Let me get us all back on screen really quick, and then I'm gonna bring this in. Let's have a little listen to this one. Here we go. And this always gets me. I've got to be so careful sharing this to make sure you guys hear it. So, okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom.
And boom.
You guys getting it?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Look at that. Over 8 million views.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boys.
You know I love you. Come on. Yeah. I wanna be together, we can run away. It's NB Ridaz. Just me and you. Same click, new title. Will you run away with me? The day I wrote these words for you, I cried. Could have died that day. A happy and complete man. Cause in the palm of my hands, everything I dream for and more. And you know that I'm down for yours forever in life. The reason why I made you my wife is because you sing me for me, the real me, and love me unconditionally. And even with them circumstances that I handed, you still gave me a chance. And that's why I live and breathe for you and the kids. And you give
I like that hat.
This thing could ever give me. And now my life is satisfied and complete. Visions all coming true, yeah, of me and you. Placing rings on each other's fingers, saying I do. You stuck with me through my thick and my thin. To go back and
Get
live
some
life
applause
over
up in
again.
here.
Nah, this is my destiny. It was worth the agony to get the ecstasy.
Even my mom says she's so
We
excited.
can spend some time. I'll always be the one right by your side. Tell the whole world you belong to me. You are my everything.
I wanna run away with you. I never ever met a shorty that was quite like you.
See, now Eric, I think NB Ridaz should have tapped No Authority to do some hooks back in the day.
Yeah. Listen,
Imagine that.
let me just warm up for a second.
Huh?
Imagine that. That would have been dope. That would have been cool.
That would have been dope.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, no time like the present, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can still do stuff now. We gotta wait for. We gotta talk about the past. We're doing stuff in the future.
So, did you guys? What were you guys a part of any major tours? I'm sure that you guys did a lot of the the radio station circuits and all those kind of performances, which I always think are so fun because they're always
all the radio shows where you got to pay for, you're performing, so they'll spin the record, and you're performing with people like you could be on a ticket with everyone from like Run DMC to Garth Brooks or something ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. All ends of the spectrum depending on the station.
I think we all been there, where you have to do your promo tour when you start. But I mean, as we are proud to say that we've been on stage with everybody that I think we idolized as singers, or we looked up to now. Like we were on stage we met Destiny's Child when there was all 5 members.
Yeah.
We Ja Rule when he was just like by himself, Marshall Mathers when he was barely blowing up, the Ludas,
before he was the Candy,
the Jay-Z's, the NSYNC, 98 Degrees.
Yeah,
actually we broke a record. It was ourselves. It was our show with 98 Degrees, and we broke a record for right here. It was in a park with 30,000 people.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people fit in
that
what
park. City?
It was 100. It was 100,000.
Oh well, that's a huge difference.
That was
because it was a free show. It was. I remember it was us. The group you just said, and then it was 98 Degrees, right? And the color shade, the group Shades. I guess who do you love?
Oh,
who do you love? Yeah.
So Shades, we broke a record for that, but on stage, we've been on stage with you. Pretty much say it. We've done it. Master P, the Diddy's, the Mace. We've been there, done it all, man. We've been there.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a blessing. It's a blessing up to this day because we could actually say that, regardless, I feel like we're very humble. We're a very humble group, and we stayed that way. And we're only here because of the fans. They're what made us.
Yeah.
And so we always try to give back. We're also one of the few groups that Madonna. Madonna's big in this world. I'm not sure you guys remember Madonna.
What we were our last album was on her label.
Wow, we didn't even know that.
Wow.
The first album was Michael Jackson. Second album was Madonna.
It was one of the first groups that she ever gave an okay to sample something from one of her songs. She actually heard one of our records directly. They told us she heard your record.
Yeah.
And she gave us an okay to use it for one of our songs. So
what was it?
It was one of the called. It was a song called AZ Side, but they did a remix of AZ Side. And what did they call after that, Zick?
It was called the Everybody remix.
The Everybody mix. We just go everybody. Come
on, dance with me.
Yeah, so we had a part that and we had to get permission from her, and she blessed us with that, and for us to be able to touch people like that, from few street kids that you wouldn't think they would, it's a blessing.
And you guys are from Arizona, is that right? Yeah. You guys are from. Are you guys still there now?
I'm from Texas, but I was raised here.
Okay. Excellent.
And now, we like to talk about kind of that aha moment, right? That moment where you're on stage and you're like, "How the heck did I get here?" Like,
or
for
just
example,
one of those moments where you're like, "I will never forget this in my entire life."
For just to give you, as you think of what that moment might be, I think Eric and I share the same moment. It was in Jones Beach, day 3 of Britney or something ridiculous. In Jones Beach, I don't know if you guys ever played Jones Beach, but it's an insane, like, it's surrounded by water backstage. You have to go in a tunnel to get backstage. The audience pretty much just goes kind of straight up.
Right up.
And so I remember we were there, and we were doing our song "I'm Telling You This," and it's kind of a mid-tempo ballad. We're standing up in our chairs doing our little chair choreography, and the camera flashes and the fog and the just. I remember just being like, little dude, dude from Sumter, South Carolina. How did I get here? And it's funny because Eric apparently had kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments where you felt like we had the audience in the palm of our hands. Not only that, but they were so supportive and just loving us. And when being an opening act, you're constantly trying to win over the people that actually came to major artists. So for us, we felt like we were the headliners. Do you guys have moments like that where you're just like, what? How did this happen?
Well, there's two personal moments in my career that I feel that made me feel like, okay, I'm okay, this is crazy. The first one had to be when we were at home and we sold out our home. It was at the Celebrity Theater. Now it was not a big venue, but 2,500 people at that time for us.
Yeah.
Selling out was great. You know what I mean? And we're the hometown heroes. And I just remember Dos was able to have his son on stage during that show. And the moment that my daughter was on side of the stage and she came on stage and sang Pretty Girl, I think that was a moment for me to say as a father that, okay, I'm doing something for you guys to see that your daddy did something with himself.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I think that was the first moment because it was like the look on her face was priceless, brother. I can't describe it. But the second one was just this last. I think it was one of our last ones. It was called Tropicalia, and I'll be honest, man. I'm probably the one that doesn't speak Spanish. I don't really listen to Spanish music. I'm probably far left in when it comes to the group. I'm always in the streets. I'm always hearing club music. I'm very diverse in that area. So I like to hear different type of music. So I think when I went to Tropicalia, I didn't understand how big these lineups and these people were because we were actually opening up for Tigre de la Nortes and all these big Mexican, Latin bands and things like that. So I just remember being backstage and being mad at myself because I didn't speak Spanish because, man, there were so many stars, but none of them really spoke English. So I was like, man, bro, I felt out of place. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But, and at the same time, like the people that got us there, it's not like they were introducing us. It's not like they were, hey, these are my boys. These are my peoples right here, man. This is who it is. It was kind of like, I don't know. It was a weird feeling, like I said. But the cool part about it was the stage. Like you had the band that was playing, and then there's a band like setting up literally behind them, and then the stage would turn. And then right when that band would end, boom, the stage would turn, and then there's the next band. So I think the moment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the moment for me was us three standing there and turning around, and we didn't have no instruments, no nothing. Our intro's playing, the lights are going in and out. There's probably like 50,000 people in the crowd. I know there's 75,000 people in attendance because they got 2 or 3 stages going on.
Yeah.
But we're headlining. I think that's the part when it was like, dang, we had already broke up. We had already gone through our things. So I think that moment right there was the eye opener for me, is like how big we were in the Latin community. Like we are a Tigre de Nortes. We are a Chicano Batman. We are I mean, I could go on, I guess. Wow, it was just big.
The moment where you realized, oh my gosh, all these people look at us like I look at these guys.
Exactly,
right?
Man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it feels amazing. It feels so good. I know the feeling. Not a lot of people know that feeling, but we've all been blessed to have had that. And it's not a prideful thing. It's just a pure love, a pure energy thing. And it's amazing. Dos, do you have Do you have one that you can?
I have three. Actually, I do have three. I have like the first one was actually right in the beginning when I heard that we hit top 10 Billboard. To me was amazing. I'm like, and I was like, what's that? You know, at first, and then no, you're like top 10 with the world.
Watch
And
it.
that was the rap and all that.
Yeah.
And to me that was amazing, and being handed a plaque for that, and knowing that something that I wrote on the way to the studio in a few minutes was heard and loved and embraced by the world.
And now every week you got to get Billboard magazine.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You're gonna look. Where are we this week, guys?
Yeah,
where are we?
exactly. We're like, what number are we in? And
I just
it has to be. What's that, brother?
Oh no, I was just saying it's. I mean, you guys have experienced things that not a lot of people can actually relate to.
Yeah, and also the second one.
Really quick dose. I just want to give some love to the people that are hopping in. Moses Garcia said, "Hey, people are still listening to your music."
Thank you, Moses.
Shout out to Moses.
Moses, big shout out to you. Big hugs, Moses.
What's up, y'all?
Lucas
Rossi.
Lucas, if you guys don't know who Lucas is, he won Rockstar Supernova, which was the TV show where
hell yeah.
Tommy Lee was looking to build.
These are the kind of names we don't get in art when we go live. Lucas, Rossi, we don't get those kind of names.
Congratulations, Lucas.
Melendez and
Lucas says Dos rocks. Yo, Zig rocks too, man.
I smoke rocks. No, I'm just playing.
Lucas,
done that.
And anyone else that's listening from either the Bad Boys of Pop's Facebook page, the Riders page, wherever you're listening from, feel free to hop in, ask a question, give us a comment. We'll potentially share and answer the questions, or just kind of feature you. Like here, Miklo says much love, Ziggy. So yeah, guys, hop in, have some fun. And I want to throw in, before you get to the next story, Dos, I want to let everyone know that your socials are at the official NB Ridaz. So go check that out. Let that scroll there for a minute. And anyone who's watching, definitely share this. Have some fun, start a watch party, make it a party. We've got a little bit left here. Bring your peeps in and let's have some fun. So back to your stories, though.
Yeah,
my apologies.
And no, it's okay. And as I was saying, the next probably favorite moment I had was sharing the stage with my son. We actually got to share it a few times, and my son was he was only like 6, and and he was actually very it's like he was built for it. He's the type of what happens his little WWE wrestlers on the side playing. But when it's time for him to go on stage, he was a whole different person. You know, and he would rock the show. He could do it on his own.
It's like Sasha Fierce and Beyonce, right? You just turn them on.
Oh,
he just.
You know what? I remember that day. I remember the day that it happened. We were in El Paso. It was Eminem. It was Elvis Crespo. It was Ja Rule. I mean, it was all kind. It was one of the big ones. And I remember Andrew went on stage and just killed it, like a natural. That's just what he was. He was a natural. And he had no fear. Went out there and killed it. Knew how to play the crowd, dance, rap, killed it. Went backstage, had his like you said, his little He-Mans or whatever he had, and he's playing backstage. And then the Yin Yang twins walk in and they're like, "Look at little man right there, just went and killed the stage, and now look how humble he is, just playing his toys, man." And that's just the way it was. Like, I love that we were able to bring and have a family orientated type of set sometimes. That was the great thing. Those got to share that with Andrew,
And that was a beautiful moment for me. And now the third one is, like Ziggy said, we're at that Tropicali, and just the fact that we were the only, I guess, hip hop group. We were the only one out of the whole thing. And those fans that were there, majority, Spanish speaking fans of everybody.
A lot of them.
The same fans that were singing their songs were singing ours word by word. To me, that was amazing.
Crazy.
That was amazing. Just to share those moments, and not knowing that we still have that fan base that we could still sell out the 50, the whatever, those types of shows is just a blessing in disguise, you know.
Dose, you got my mom reaching out, giving me a
Hey,
little
are you
dose,
have
dose,
the
the
favor?
favor of
Oh,
God
thank
on
you.
you.
The favor. I have the favor of God. I need him more than ever now. Yes. Thank you. Bless you. And thank you for making your son, because he helped me in my album. He was blessed. He blessed my album. So
Yeah.
amen.
Shed a little light. Shed a little light.
So, and we'll talk about that soon. But before we get there, I want to stay in the NB Riders zone,
Yes.
if we can. What I want to do is I want to play what I think was, I mean, it was a pretty popular video, I believe, and I hope I have the right version. But I'd like to actually full screen this and let people just rock with this for a second, just for a couple minutes. And I know I cut it off last time. Is it okay with you guys? Because I want to get permission to use the entire song.
Go ahead, man.
It's your room. You just gotta pay the rent.
Okay, I'm gonna play this entire video here. So if anyone has to take a pee break or do anything like that, now's the time to do it during this video. Just a heads up.
Those has got to drop some mud.
If you have any extracurriculars you have to do, then now is the time. I'm gonna go.
I gotta go drop some mud. I'll be back.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I'm gonna get it playing.
Oh yeah, dope.
I'm gonna make it full screen. Here we go. Nice, go.
That's not the official one, but yeah.
It's not a bad video.
You know what's weird about that one? It was like kind of thrown together. It was, I mean, it's cool because that's like the real shit, but just thrown together. Like all that right there. I didn't see that girl on the set. Where was she at?
Plug this in. It's gonna die. Don't see it. Just like this.
Hey, Tom, you know the sound's not on.
It's on it all. That's me.
Yes, I don't think you can hear.
Play a video. Oh, no, it's cool. No, it's cut off.
No, it's not. I'm just seeing myself.
Oh, sorry. Let's go to us.
How about now?
A little better.
That was a fancy move there, Dose.
You like that? That's copyrighted too. Don't try it.
It's got the itchy. Look at those getting a lappy dance. Yeah.
Remember, Mom, I found the Lord now.
Hey, I know, brother. That's the old you. That's the old you.
So it sounds like people were having a hard time hearing that.
Yeah, but that video was beautiful. That was, I mean, you guys probably had a lot of fun shooting that one.
Thank you.
That was fun.
It was, and I know, obviously, Eric, you know, we had some videos and did things that, you know, like, that was questionable. But beautiful video. Now, Dos, I know your new project coming out it's a whole other direction, and I promise you we will get into that here in a second.
Oh, no problem.
But yeah, I wanted to ask before we move forward, did people get confused? Was there any like Baby Bash? Was there any confusion? Because what was there was a So Fly, the sugar you get so fly. Wasn't that Bash?
Yeah.
Was
but,
there ever,
because Bash isn't his Bash style is different, way different from us too. Bash has his own style. I don't think actually anybody had our style, or I mean, now there's, like I said, there's like guys that or groups that try to do what we do or try to rap the way we do. But there's something about when you put myself and Zig or all three of us together that have that sound. So the Bash was more of a cool. How would you say, Zig?
I'm just talking like by title. Did radio stations ever mix it up?
No.
Okay, that's good. That's actually that's surprising.
I think the only reason why, and this is honest, is everybody called it the ice cream truck song because of the little bells. So that right off top is what took everything to its own. That little melody in the beginning was just something that just got everybody's attention right off top. So I think that right there, it made it different from the Sugar song. Right. But I do remember just back and behind the scenes, there was a couple comments made. Not so much animosity, but just like, you know, like, hey man, you know, hey, that you guys could have chose a different title. But at the same time, he paid homage in the verse, and he, you know, sugar, how'd you get so fly? Down for yours if you down for. So it's kind of like us paying homage too.
I picked up on that. Yeah. And he also incorporated lots of beautiful ladies.
Oh yeah.
You know. Real quick, a couple of notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying, Angelina Martinez. Hey, back at you. One more NB, like strictly NB Ridaz thing I want to play, just because this is one I think that I heard the most on the airwaves in Los Angeles, if you will. On I think I heard it on Kiss, I heard it on the Beats, I heard it on Power, and I'm gonna try to share this. I'll put my headphones on the mic just so people can get a glimpse. And here's the thing, like if it doesn't work, then I mean, whatever. If it's not working, then I apologize. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just tease you with this, and you'll have to figure out, like, yes, I remember that song. And then you'll just have to go look it up yourself. So this one is the most, for me anyway, is the one that I most think of when I think of you guys. So hopefully this is a favorite of many others. If you guys are listening, let me know what you thumb this up if you like it. Here we go. And I know there wasn't an official video for this one, it's just the audio. So can you guys hear it or no?
Yep.
I'm gonna put it here for the people listening.
You got it. Tell me you can hear it.
Check this out.
A little more of that nice little Roger Zapp vibe.
Something about you, girl, blows my mind, baby. And it's total.
Take you back.
Can you guys hear this?
Come on.
You guys can hear it, but if you're listening on Facebook or on YouTube, can you guys hear it as well?
Yep. All the good times we had, needing you and I. Hot summer nights making love in July. The only girl that didn't give it on the first night.
Tina says, "What up from Pueblo, Colorado? What up, Tina Garnica?"
Things you do, my pretty girl, I gotta make it work with you. Tell the world, tell your girls and your family. Con este anillo te prometo you're my everything. Cause nobody's ever made me feel the way you do. I just dropped you off, already miss you. Chica bonita, sonrisa.
So when you guys were performing this, what were some of your moves?
Let's make a pact and always be together.
Like, can I bring you in to act like you're doing it when your part comes up? So, like, for example, right now, I'll do this part. Wait. Oh, I can't do it.
I usually don't believe in love at first sight, but this girl had it all. You stood out from the group from across the room. I had to keep my attention on you. Something about that pretty face, that pretty smile. You couldn't help but take it lost in those pretty eyes.
She had it all. The type of woman that you take to mother, take a look with a fan. Love and companionship. Someone to talk through these rough times. Who ain't afraid to hand me.
All right, Eric, you're singing the next hook. You ready?
Hey, it's my worst day. She got me happy like a kid waking up on the first day. This love was different, it was based on pressure. I'm letting you know, hey, I'm ready to ride.
Sing it, Eric.
There you go, fresh line.
Sing it, buddy. Sing it.
I've been having things that you I know you don't know me. See you around. You're the hottest looking honey that I've seen in the town. Come on, this guy's take a walk.
I think Dose is a little bit, internet connection is a little behind. All good though. It's a party, y'all.
I know we just met, but can I give you a kiss? Grab the hand and she hugged me, acting kinda shy. Dimples on your face, got you looking pretty fly. Baby, this is real talk, I wanna be with you. Little did I know you. Now I'm down on my knees, got you saying I do. So I had to write a song dedicated to you.
Come on. There you go. Little live. On my
Blew my mind about you, baby. Drives me crazy.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a party in here.
It's a party, y'all. You guys like that? Throw some hearts out for your boys, NB Ridaz.
That's love, guys.
Oh yeah, man.
That was fun.
This is the first time I performed all year.
Your first performance right here
Yes.
on Facebook.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Last thing before we go into the solo album that's coming out this weekend. Dos, I heard you because you're a part of a church that you sent a video to me, and you told a story that rang very true to me about choosing your path in life.
Yes.
And so, for example, I'll tell mine briefly, and then I'll let you parallel that with yours.
Okay.
So, when I moved to LA, my mom kept asking me, "Hey, when are you going to go back to school?" Right? I was valedictorian. I was going to do the Harvard thing and study law and do that whole kit and caboodle. She kept asking, "When are you going to go back to school? When are you going to do it?" Right? Year after year after year after, and finally we played in South Carolina. Eric, you recall playing at the Columbia State Fair.
Yep.
I think with Mandy Moore. And my mom was there, and after that show, she said, "Okay, I get it. I'm not going to ask you anymore. What you're doing, like, do what you're doing, right?" It's almost like it's almost like people don't understand what you're doing until they see it with their own eyes, right? So the story that you shared really parallels that story. Can you run that back? Can you give us that story, Dos?
I'm trying to hear you.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Yeah. So I was just explaining how family, my mom in particular, kept asking me when I was going to go back to school.
Okay.
Right. And she didn't understand what I was doing until we played the Columbia State Fair anymore. And, we had 15,000, 20,000 people, and she saw the show.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we're signing autographs by the gate for hundreds of, and then afterwards she's like, "Okay, I'm not going to ask anymore." Right. So the story that you told really touched me and reminded me of my personal experience.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of similar like yours. As us, I have we like to say we have old school moms, and what we say by that is that the way of thinking is you have to go to school. If you don't go to school, you better get a job.
Yeah.
And if you don't do those things, then you're gonna fail in life. So while I was going through school, I was attracted to the music just like my boy Zig was.
And
So
by
my
the way,
mom was always, you know what, that, and I was attracted to talent shows and stuff like that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that Zig and Eric don't feel left out when I zoom in, because I want to point out that Eric, you're still in the top right. I'm still top right, and then Zig's also still there in the picture too. We're just really focusing on those right now. We're loving on those right now.
So as I was saying, she was the type that, hey, well, aren't you, what's going on in school, and you need to stop, dancing around like a monkey, and that ain't gonna get you nowhere. Which I love to dance. That was my thing, and my thing was making it into talent shows and stuff like that. So as later on the line, as I got out of school, to make it short, she would say, "Well, hey, aren't you gonna go to work?" And I was telling her, at the time, I was already with Nasty Boy Click. I was doing my thing, and I was like, "Mom, I'm already working." And she was just looking at me, and she was kind of like disappointed at me. She'll give me this disappointing face because she didn't understand the business. Mm-hmm. So one day I was like, man, I always told him, one day I'm gonna be on MTV. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna come out. And that time came where Down for Years was on this show called Yo MTV Raps, and Cooley was introducing us for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, we made it. And when the video came on, my mom was coming from the kitchen. She looked at the TV, and I was just like, I didn't say it was us, but she saw like I was so into it, and I was so excited. So she's looking at it, and she looks at me. She looks at, and she sees me. She's actually seeing me, and then she looks back at me and just walks away. My heart just broke, and it fell, where she didn't understand what that was. Mm. It didn't happen. That moment didn't happen. And so later on, as we got our first big paycheck, okay, right that one, you don't have real quick. I got my first paycheck, right? And so did Zig, and I wanted to show it to my mom before I brought it home, and it was for $10,000, right? And I showed it to her, and at the same time, she's like, "Oh, what's this?" And her eyes just opened up. She was like, "What's this?" And when she did go, "Well, I'm working. This is what I do," and she just turned her head again, like if it wasn't real, And there I go again. Everything dropped. Even though I still was excited, and not till it was the first, I guess, those Tostito Bowl happening in Arizona, and we were the headliners. And my little sister took her to go see us perform, and she's, you know, there on those events there is a sea of people there, and she saw, because she really doesn't speak English that much, but enough for her to know what's going on. And that night when we did Down for Yours, she finally understood.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what he does.
Right.
You know, so that was a moment for me.
Yeah.
You know, that made me like, okay, now she knows that I'm doing something for myself.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So that's my story to that with my mom.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's the same with mine. I mean, my mom was the same way. She was like, you know, don't count your chickens before they hatch. She saw the check. She was like, okay, put it away. I think what it is, though, it's not that they don't want us to be happy and enjoy the success. I think it's a lot of these, they don't understand. They can't fathom that in their head. Fame, because maybe that's not what they wanted, and people that don't want fame or don't want success like that, they don't understand. Oh, you're on TV, okay, like they don't understand the like how big that is. But it wasn't like my mom, till, you know, my mom still to the day she passed away, she was always telling me, you got to have a plan B, you can't just have a plan A. So I think that's what it was, though. It's a little bit of fear, because a lot of the fear that they put on us was fear that they had of not succeeding, because somewhere along the line someone told them, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because my father was the same way. My dad was the one who told me, now I knew what you were doing. It was the first show that we had here in Phoenix. That was when we opened up for Destiny's Child. And my mom said that my dad tried to run to the front of the stage, because they had the green area where it's all lawn, and then they got the seats. Well, he tried to get past security and everything, trying to get to the front. And my mom said, like, my dad just went crazy when we went on, like a almost like a fanatic fan. And I just remember that conversation my dad having with me after that stage. He's like, you know what, son, I'm proud of you. I knew that I didn't have to tell you anything. I knew you would figure it out on your own. Yeah. So it's kind of like yours, Tommy. I knew that you would figure it out. I didn't have to push you too much. Now, my mom, on the other hand, shit, even if I was famous or anything, she'd be like, go get a job. Go get a fucking real job. That was my mom right there, boy.
A lot of people love Plan B. And I think when you're in our shoes, when I look here and there and there, like these guys, they don't see Plan Bs, right? Eric, you're not a Plan B guy, are you?
I mean, is that some sort of pill? I don't know.
I mean, no, I'm saying like you've never.
No, I would get to arguments with people that are like, well, you know, what are you gonna do? What's your plan B? What's your plan B? Like, I never understood that, you know. I understand I think what they are doing is trying to help and to you know, and to be there for you as some sort of like, oh, trying to be a support system, but in fact it's actually quite insulting. So, you know,
yeah, they're concerned,
because when people say have a plan B, they're not artists. You know, that's what it comes down to. And you know, this is what I teach my kids. You know, this is what I teach. I don't have kids, but you know, I teach kids. You know, it's like you have to follow your passion. You know, and it's going to manifest in a way that it might not necessarily be what you thought it was initially, but really, really coming from your heart and coming from your gut and your soul, that will take you places, and you'll be surprised when they go.
Boom.
You know, I tell that to a lot of youngsters out there. You have the shine. You have the ability to make anything manifest itself. It's just somewhere along the line, someone stops them. It could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be just how people out there in the social. And the thing is if you let somebody stop you from your dream early on, then you won't ever see your full potential, and eventually your shine dies. I'm sorry to say, but some of these youngsters won't see the potential, because somewhere along the line someone's going to stop them. Me and those have the same story almost. That's why we're still together, is because we literally have the same story, in the sense of we went to rival high schools. We were both the go-to guys at the talent shows and winning first places. We had dance crews. and then somewhere along the line we met Pass, and it's like it's weird. Like we've always had this chemistry. It's like when you see Redman and Method Man, that's Dos. When you see Lighter Shade of Brown, that's Dos and Z. It's a chemistry that was just always there. I think Magic just came in the group and kind of just did what he did, but I always think it was still me and Dos because
he just kind of got lucky. He was like he's like the guy that comes in and does the talking parts and does like
he's the OG. He had more of the knowledge. That's what it was.
I just think we used each other's platform to get where we needed to get, I believe. Well,
speaking of, so I mean, listen, like we're getting on to an hour, and we know that your time is super valuable. We don't want to, but like, so where are you guys now? What's happening with everything?
So what's happening now is Dos is releasing his first ever solo album on Saturday.
Yes.
On Saturday.
Yes, I've been the only member. My boy Zig, I think he has like 5 or 4 albums. Magic has 5 or 4 albums.
Yeah.
And myself, this is my first album by myself because I always believed that I was meant to be with a group. Regardless, I always thought music out, but
it's hard to get out of the mentality.
Yes, I never.
Super team player. Team player. Yeah.
I always been a team player, and finally, even Zig pushed me. Hey, you need to do something, a solo album, and through those times, I was already going through hard times, and I found the church, and that to me that has a lot to do with it, and it spoke to me where, you know what, I need to do. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do something special, and I'm gonna do it my way. If it's not my way, it's not gonna be done. And I had the support from Zay through the whole album. He mastered my album. He's actually featured in my album. And the people that I met, I've been blessed even to meet, because all I said is, I told my story about my son, that I dedicated my album to. His name is Andrew Michael Salas. He passed away. He had a disease called, I don't know if you say Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, something like that.
It's a heart.
It's one of those, but it's one of those rare diseases that not many kids get. His skin kind of felt like plastic. It's kind of weird, his skin. But he was my best friend. He was, someone I would take and hang out with majority of my, all the time. And
you weren't like the father that would come home and like, okay, good to see you, and I gotta go. Like you guys.
No, I'm gonna coach. We're gonna go coach basketball. We're gonna go do this. I was really involved with them. We were involved with them. We're very, the family involved in sports and what we do all together. And one day he just, without us knowing, the Lord took him with him without any notice, it was just one day you're there, one day you're gone. Mm-hmm. So I figured to make it short, I know you guys are on time.
No, look, take all the time you want.
We're
good. Take all the time you want. This is your moment.
So what I did is I decided to, you know what, Zig, I'm gonna do an album, but I want to dedicate it to my son and the Lord. So what's the best way is, so what I did is I named the album Since You've Been Gone. So I wanted to tell not just an album, not just that where everybody just throws together, here you go. I wanted to tell a story. So what I did is it's like a chapter in the album. I tell you what I've gone through since the time he passed away to what I'm going through now. So it's a story. You got to listen to every song. It ends up with him, and then what happens after he passed away and stuff. It's a beautiful story, and it also at the same time, it tells you the story of me having my relationship with the Lord. And now that I could say it, I'm not afraid to say it. I could talk to him. I could sit down and talk to him, and even though bad situations happen or whatever it is, I can still turn around and talk to him and put it in his hands, regardless. But this album, it's a beautiful album. And I go, Zig, we need to finish this album by the 29th, which is this Saturday, which is his birthday.
Yeah.
So, and so what I did is we did an album. We did it like in a month. I finished the album in a month so it could come out on August 29th.
And not only did you finish it in a month, like you got some heavy hitters on this thing too, man.
Well, we got you in there.
You,
Yeah,
not-
you're
I'm
one
like,
of the first ones in that. You're one of the first
Yeah.
ones that.
I'm batter
Yeah.
number 8. I'm just like, no, you got some heavy hitters in this thing. You got, well, I mean, I've already seen 2 videos from it, and we won't do this tonight, but really quick, let me just say, like, we want to bring you guys back on Monday for Have You Heard the News in the form of 7 questions. It's a fun entertainment trivia show where we'll do the trivia. You guys can win some shirts. At that point, the album will be out.
Obviously not this Saturday.
Absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
like to play some videos from the album at that time, let people actually really, feel what you're doing. But what you're doing is you've gotten, and I'll let you name them, but you're bringing these folks in, you're bringing music to people, melodies that they're familiar with, bringing a new message using artists they're also familiar with. So it's
Yes.
actually it's extremely unique. You want to touch on that for a
Yeah,
minute?
real quick. And the way I did the album is, you know what? How else can I do it without just dedicate the song, the album to him? So what I did is I took songs that he liked. They me and him used to share when we used to ride together. And when I flipped them and I made them my own.
Okay.
So there's songs like we did the one me and you Tommy did. Shed a Little Light was Independent. Was a song that we survived to in the ride.
Yeah, that was yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And what I did is I flipped it where I'm still giving the message of the Lord, but at the same time, I did a song that me and him used to enjoy in the car while we were driving to school or going to work or there's some that are few that are just for me, but I say half of the ones that are in there is I just wanted to have songs that used to make him happy. I just made them my own.
And for those listening, can you name some of the names of the folks that you brought in to work with you on the record?
I have my boys Panji and Rico from New Flavor. I don't know if you guys are familiar with New Flavor. Used to have the song called 3 Little Words, Heaven. From back in the days, used to be around our time. I have my boy Tommy Mac from No Authority. I have Nana Dominguez from, I don't know if you guys Nana Dominguez, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Cumbia Kings.
Yeah.
The Cumbia Kings are Selena's brother's band.
Yeah.
I have my boy Zig in there, of course. Manny Lopez that I used from my True White family. I pulled up singers. I want to make that from the church. I want to give them an opportunity.
And he did the guitar.
Yeah. But I want them to give an opportunity to feel what I do. You know what I'm saying? Make them part of my world. And a lot of Angelina. Angelina was actually a part of our
Angelina.
Angelina.
She already retired, but she did this favor for me for my son. So the last song she ever sang was for me. The last time she ever recorded was for me. Awesome. And that was for my song, and that was a blessing in itself.
Speaking of blessings, blessings on this album.
Yes. Bunch of blessings on the album. I think the cool thing about this album is I didn't think I could write something like this or write for the Lord, but you know what? I would step to 3 a.m. You know, sometimes I would be hitting you up, or you're hitting me up, and in the middle of the night, or I tell my buddies, man, I don't know what else to do. All I did was talk to the Lord after I fall asleep at 3 a.m. Wake up at 6 a.m. Finish the whole song. You know, and then I would go to Zig. I would say, Zig, if you don't like what I'm saying, let me know, because you know it's gonna go out there. And he goes, you're making me feel closer to God just by doing what you're doing. And to me, that just dropped my heart and pushed me even harder to work harder to get this album off for my son. Right. You know, it's so important, you know, to me. And this whole album, now that I'm done, it brings, after these years, it brings closure to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed.
And I want to be honest with you, man. I mean, you were clearly the best father you could be to the young man. A lot of fathers aren't around. If they are around, they're around briefly. You were there. And then now to put so much heart and soul and so much of your life into this is the most amazing birthday present you could possibly give. So
and I hope he's proud of me. You know, I had a hard week. I just lost my brother 2 days ago. I've been going through a lot of stuff, and I go, you know what? I make commitments to you guys, so I better I need to do this so I could tell everybody my son's story, and I want them to hear it because it's a beautiful story.
It's a beautiful story, and I know that Tommy and I are so looking forward to supporting this album, and we want everybody to go and support this album. It drops on Saturday, and what we're doing is really.
Where can people find that? I want to put a little banner up real quick.
On social media, you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon.
But is there a social they should go to find it?
I just know it's everywhere.
Okay, so since you've been gone.
Since You've Been Gone is the title of the album. I'm sorry.
And is Dose? You're using Dose as the artist name?
Those of the NB Ridaz. Since You've Been Gone.
Yeah, this is a trial and error album. Also, I mean, it's something that he put out himself. He put it out independently. This is not the help of a big label doing all the work and shooting the videos. And this is my buddy getting his people together, getting me in the studio, mixing and mastering, whatever it takes to get to this next, I guess, level. But the thing is that's why it's so important for the fans to really get this album, because this is what's going to help my boy get more music off for the future. Mm-hmm. Because we're independent. This is not like back in the days when the company would put it out and then you would see it on the store shelf and you'd be like, oh, okay, let me buy it. Right. It's not like that anymore. You have to share it. You have to purchase it. You have to download it. And then at the same time, kind of like marinate on it. Sit back, listen to the music, really listen to the message. Man, I've never really told my story on how it was to watch Dos go through what he went through. And I won't touch on it now, but to see where he was and to see where he is now is probably one of them stories that only God could help them. And I try to be my best friend I could, whatever time it was, if it was since the death of his son till now. I always promised myself I would never, especially because I had my own type of things where I had my own connection with Andrew, and he visited me one night in a dream and just said, "Hey, don't give up on my dad." Mm-hmm. And I don't think I ever have, though. So I hope I haven't, but I've never really given. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, not between like each other, but we try to get this group back together. And a lot of times it'd be like, "Oh man, this wasn't working right," or "This wasn't working right." One time we flew out to Vegas, we didn't even get paid for the show. It was just, it's just a struggle. But to watch my brother blossom from the dark place that he was at is just, man, thank you, Dos, for being a part of the album, because it helped me. Like he said, I got closer to my spiritual side. I started thinking about where I was in my life, and now it's got me questioning, what step do I want to take the next route for my next album, So you got to get this album, man. It's one of the best ones. Wow.
And I think I know Tommy and I really want to talk more about it on Monday too as well.
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say, you haven't shared the story, Zig, but on Monday, after Have You Heard the News, if there's time there, we'll share there. If not, we'll just create a brand new segment on the Bad Boys of Podcast.
Yeah,
we gotta get shirts too, right?
When you can have people that truly open up, and show their heart and soul. And I know for me it means so much that you're doing it with us on the Bad Boys of Pop. So I just want to thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for sharing your story and also wanting to come back on Monday.
Oh,
we'll be here Monday.
We need to swap shirts.
Yeah.
NB Ridaz shirts.
We need some NB Ridaz shirts. We need we'll see. You have to win the shirts on Monday.
Yeah, there's a whole game going on.
It's a whole game. So you guys, Dos, Zig, Eric, we'll be back on Monday with Dos and Zig. I'll put the link up tomorrow so that people can start, planning their Monday, and then we can share it. We'll have a whole party. It'll be a good time. We'll try to get to the Zig story, because I really want to hear that story. If we don't have time on Monday, like I said,
it's all lovely.
We'll set up a special Bad Boys of Pop episode just to hear that story, because I really do want to hear that story. But for now, guys, we've held you long enough. We appreciate you, Dose. Appreciate you, Zig.
Congratulations on your album, Dose. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to Saturday. Let's stay in touch over the weekend, and we'll see you two on Monday.
Love you
Thank
guys. Don't forget my boy Tommy back's in it.
Awesome. That's amazing, dudes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all the way from Manuel to Stephen and Anna Maria Middleton to my mom to Lise. I mean, everyone. There were so many people hopped in. We appreciate you guys being here. Eric, appreciate you being here again, brother. I love you. And as we always do, right about this time, we say, stay safe. And from the bad boys of pop, from the bottom of our little pop hearts,
we love you.
We do.